I stand here this morning extremely pleased to have this opportunity to speak to you, the graduating class of 2010 of the Perkins School for the Blind. For almost 2 centuries now, a worldwide beacon of hope and of learning for the blind, the deafblind, and the visually impaired. An exemplar of how education should be done with a multinational and diverse population with unique and exceptional needs. A school whose commitment is to see the possibilities, to seize the possibilities, whose past, whose present, whose future hold a pride of place in American history. As I am sure all of us here will agree, each of these graduates today should walk tall. You have faced the challenges. You have overcome the obstacles. You have attained the goal. Today, you are a graduate. Given that I have about 50 more years of experience with this blindness thing than each of those who are sitting on the stage today, and a lot more wrinkles and gray hair, and certainly black and blue marks to show for it, I thought I would take this time this morning, the next few minutes, and talk to you, the graduates, about what I learned from the 3 worst days of my life. Of course, as I describe these experiences in my own relationship to my blindness, I am very aware of what you, the graduates, and your families, your teachers, and everyone in the Perkins wider community know very well, that every person's blindness is a different blindness. Depending on too many factors to go into this morning: age of onset, family and community support, emotional and intellectual development, and I would say most important, personality factors like resilience and optimism. So given this, given that every person's blindness is a different blindness, I still hope that what I have learned from these experiences may help each of you, the graduates, as you commence on your post-Perkins life today. A little background first. I lost my vision gradually throughout childhood. In 2nd grade, I was reading regular ink print. In 6th grade, it was large print. In 8th grade, it was only talking books in Braille. By the time I went off to college, to Brandeis, I was carrying a white cane and totally blind. And now my first bad day and its lesson. I was 13. Worcester, Massachusetts, where I grew up, was a place where a bicycle was a boy's best friend. His soaring, autonomous spirit, his freedom, his manhood, his life, if you can think about manhood at 13. And at 13, although I had been losing my vision gradually for 7 years at that point, I was still riding my bike around Worcester. The parents here might want to stop listening or take a tranquilizer or two. When I look back at how I was doing this, riding my bike, with no vision in my left eye and deteriorating vision in my right, I have to conclude what my parents concluded that spring, that I was riding my bike by facial vision, sheer luck, prayer, and the sense of smell. The good news was that Worcester, or at least the communities around my home, Worcester was a small enough community so that most of the drivers knew me and probably got out of my way. But we inevitably came to that moment of truth. It was the worst day of my rather young life when my parents told me that I absolutely, no ifs, ands, or buts, could no longer ride my bike. Much suffering and screaming and tears later, my own and my parents', my bike was locked in the tool shed and I had no key. I was desolate. The next morning, a knock on the door. There was Danny, my best friend, on my porch with his bike, his red Schwinn, covered with foam rubber, from port to stern, a chariot for two. Lesson 1. When all seems lost, when life seems unable to solve or to bear, look around. There's probably someone who can help you through it and help you find your way.